Hi, Madison Heights art students. It's Miss O'Connor. I hope you guys are having a great day. I want to thank you for creating and sharing so much beautiful artwork with me. I really love to see what you guys are doing. I'm here to introduce our new art project, which is using animals as subject matter. I want you to remember that all of the art projects I'm sending are very open-ended. So you have a lot of choices here. You can choose what kind of materials you're using, what kind of animals you're going to be using in this. This video is to introduce you to some contemporary artists who create animal artwork, also to give you some of the steps to make your own animal artwork, and lastly to show you an animal artwork that I made. Let's get started. So this is an alligator painting by the artist Jules Buck Jones. And what I want you to notice in this painting is how much focus he puts on the inside of the alligator, on the skin of the alligator, rather than just on the outline of the alligator. He's spending a lot of time varying his mark making and putting different types of lines and shapes in there to describe to us the texture of the alligator. This is a painting called Tiger in a Yellow Field of Sad Flowers by Nikki Maloof. And what I think is interesting about this painting is that the artist decided to turn the animal around so we couldn't see the animal's face. Yet we still know it's a tiger, and I would know that even if I didn't know the title, because she did a lot of work on making sure that the pattern is accurate to a tiger, the curved ears look like a tiger, the tail is the length of a tiger. I wonder, when you hear this title, Tiger in a Yellow Field of Sad Flowers, how you think she expressed that the flowers are sad. Take a look. These are two different pieces of art from the artist David Bates. One on the left is a sculpture called Large Dog, and the other on the right is a painting called Great Horned Owl. I want you to notice again all the details he put in both of these pieces of art. Do you notice what the great horned owl has in its mouth? So this is a drawing by the contemporary artist Robin O'Neill called Brachiosaurus. I'm not sure if Robin used illustrations for this picture or a toy or a combination of both and her imagination. I do notice that she spent a lot of time adding detail and texture to the Brachiosaurus. She also put a background in this drawing. I want you to think about this one. How did she use the background to describe the size of the Brachiosaurus? So the first step for this project is to choose an animal, maybe more than one, that you're going to use as your subject material for this project. Your choice of animal probably depends on the next step, which is what kind of resources are you going to use to make your animal art? You might find your animal on the internet. You might have some magazines around that have animals in them. You might have some animal toys that you can draw from. You might have animals in your house, or maybe animals that are outside in your backyard or front yard. You also might use your memory because you've seen animals before, perhaps at the zoo, or in photographs, or around. You might also use a combination of all of these different types of resources. So the next step is to decide what kind of medium you're going to use for your animal art. And this probably depends a lot on what you have. So you might do your animal art out of pencil, crayons, markers, so drawing materials. You might decide to collage your animal art by cutting or ripping pieces of paper and gluing or taping them together. You might use paint for your animal art if you have that on hand. You could also make your animal art out of 3D materials or alternative materials. So you could use Legos, you could use cardboard, you could use Play-Doh, you could use land art materials, you could crumple newspaper together and tape it. So whatever you have on hand. So the next thing to do is to get started. I have an iPad, and so I thought for videotaping this, that would be the easiest to use for reference material because I wanted to use a mandrel, and I don't have any photographs or toys of the mandrel. I could have done it by memory, but I like to draw from photographs a lot. When I start making any type of art, I typically start with the focus point. So because I was using a big head of a mandrel, I decided to start my drawing with the eyes. If I was using the whole body of the mandrel, I probably would have started with the head and the shape of the head. I paid a lot of attention to how small the mandrel's eyes are compared to its nose, and then how long the mandrel's nose is, and then the sort of shapes that are on the sides of the nose that are blue. At first, I colored them all in blue, but then I decided to try to give it a little bit more 3D, so I didn't color in the right-hand side and left a little bit of it white. I then did the mandrel's mouth and started adding more details to the face. And I normally do this because I try to get the face in and make sure I know exactly what I'm doing with that before I start adding details around the face. The mandrel's hair is really puffy, and the hair has a lot of different colors in it. So I decided to use dash lines to basically describe that on the top of its head. And then I started adding hair to the rest of its face and its body. I decided to add a nighttime background to the mandrel picture. I wanted it to be nighttime, but the first color I used was a little too light, and I made space to leave for the stars. So then I ended up adding in a darker blue afterwards. The last thing I did was kind of look at the picture and see if I had missed anything, missed any colors, missed any other details I wanted to add. And then I put the title of the art, which is called Mandrel, up on the top left-hand corner, and I put my name and class code on the top right-hand corner. I wonder what kind of animal you're going to make some art about. I wonder how you're going to make it. I can't wait to see it. Make sure to share it with me when you're done. And remember that art is an experiment. You never know what you're going to come up with. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Bye-bye.